Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Arabic Khatawaat. We're getting to our next story, which is our second story, Al-Qissa Al-Thaniya, from these series. Today's story is quite interesting. It will also have a set of vocab and phrases, idiomatic expressions. If you have reviewed the first one, you know the drill. Grab a pen and paper and get ready. I will read in Arabic, then I will include my translation, and of course, the short cases or vocalization as I read, and I will repeat at the end. Grab your pen and paper and ala barakatillah. عنوان القصة, the title of the story. عنوان القصة. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. Loyalty in times of distress or in times of crisis. الوفاء. الوفاء. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. هذا عنوان. عنوان. And عنوان القصة, the title of the story. وهذه قصة قصيرة. قصة قصيرة. You know by now what قصة قصيرة means. It's short story. This is really an interesting story. You have to wait for the punchline. يلا. في جاي ورجل كانا صديقين حميمين، وفي أحد الأيام ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة للتمتع بجمال الطبيعة. في جاي ورجل كانا صديقين حميمين، وفي أحد الأيام ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة للتمتع بجمال الطبيعة. فجأة رأيا دبا كبيرا يتقدم منهما، ففزعا وإن تابهما الخوف الشديد. Now listen to me read this paragraph, and I'll read it and explain at the same time. Your pen and paper should be ready. يلا على بركة الله. So في جاي ورجل, this is a duel. So you have two names. كانا were صديقين حميمين, two close friends. So over here you have the duel. So friends first, and then حميمين, like very close. وفي أحد الأيام, and in one day, and you have أحد الأيام. Basically in English you would say in one day, but in Arabic you say in one of the days, because this is days. الأيام. They went on a quick picnic, like نزهة, picnic. ذهبا, and you can notice that we have the dual in all of the verbs. ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة. They went on a picnic to the forest. الغابة. للتمتع بجمال الطبيعة. To enjoy. And this is like a tamattu, enjoyment, and you have to enjoy, or for the sake of enjoying. جمال الطبيعة, the beauty of nature. And over here you have nature, and jamal is a noun, which is beauty. فجأة, like suddenly, but فجأة comes from the verb like فاجأ, to surprise someone, but in this case you say suddenly. رأيا دبا كبيرا, they saw a big bear approaching, the two of them. يتقدم is coming towards them, because when you say تقدم is to present someone, present yourself, but come in their direction or approaching them. And you can also say approaching. Approaching the two of them. ففزع. Here's an idiomatic expression. ففزع وانتابهما الخوف الشديد. فزع, like the fear struck them. They got very scared. فزع, the two of them. وانتابهما الخوف الشديد. This is a really good expression because you could say, I got really scared, really, really scared. You'd say, انتابني. انتابني, الشديد, like intense. When you say شديد, meaning intense. الخوف, fear. So you could say انتابني الخوف الشديد if you are referring to your emotion and saying, I got really stressed. I felt a really intense fear, actually fear. انتابني الخوف الشديد. And you can change الخوف by, of course, القلق, any intense emotion. القلق, which is anxiety or worry, when you're worried, like أنا قلق. Grab your pen. You have a lot of words. So this is the first paragraph. Is في جاي ورجل كان صديقين حميمين وفي أحد الأيام ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة للتمتع بجمال الطبيعة. فجأة رأيا دبا كبيرا يتقدم منهما. And we need to say يتقدم منهما ففزعا وانتابهما الخوف الشديد. انتابهما الخوف الشديد. Now the second paragraph. كان رجل بارعا, very talented, بارع. كان رجل بارعا في تسلق الأشجار. في تسلق الأشجار. تسلق الأشجار, in climbing trees. And we have تسلق. And I'll write بارع without the case ending because in this part, بارع is an حال or an adjective that acts as an object. So I'm just going to keep the adjective as it is, which is بارع. Skillful, talented. بارعا is just another form of grammar that we're not going to discuss here. So فسارع, when you say someone, سارع, like immediately hurried. فسارع على الفور, immediately. إلى أقرب شجرة إليه وتسلقها غير مبال بصديقه الذي لم يكن يحسن التسلق إطلاقا. This is a long sentence. I'll read it one more time and I'll just mark 2 words at a time. Sorry. So كان رجل بارعا في تسلق الأشجار, in climbing trees. فسارع على الفور. He immediately hurried or rushed towards something. إلى أقرب شجرة إليه, the closest tree to him. وتسلقها, and he climbed it. وتسلقها غير مبال. This is a really good phrase to remember. غير مبال, without caring for his friend. So he immediately rushed to a tree close by, and he climbed it without caring for his friend. He was completely indifferent. So when you say indifferent or not, like doesn't care, you say غير مبالي. غير مبال. Indifferent. I keep saying indifferent. It's indifferent. There you go. Indifferent to someone. غير مبالي بصديقه. الذي لم يكن. The one that, when you say الذي, you refer to that, did not. لم يكن يحسن. لم يكن يحسن. He was not a good climber. So يحسن التسلق إطلاقا. When you say someone did not know how to climb, you would use this phrase لم يكن يحسن التسلق إطلاقا, at all. إطلاقا. And إطلاقا is another word you could use when you're thinking of saying like, I don't like this إطلاقا at all. I don't like this at all. إطلاقا. إطلاقا, it's for emphasis, to say like you really don't like it. So you would say at all. So he wasn't good at climbing at all. أما as for فجاي, you would say ففكر قليلا. He thought a little bit. So he took his time to think. ففكر قليلا وتذكر, and he remembered. حينها, at that moment. So حين is another way of saying time. So he remembered at that moment أنه قد سمع, that he heard before بأن الحيوانات المفترسة, the predators or the animals, the predators do not like. لا تحب الجثث الميتة. The predators do not like dead bodies. I don't know how accurate that is, but I cannot imagine. Okay, so the predators do not like dead bodies. And when you say al-juthath are dead bodies, which is the plural of jutha. Jutha. And jutha, you would hear it in phrases like jutha hamida, when you refer to someone who is lifeless, like he doesn't move a lot, and you would use this phrase metaphorically to joke around and say, hey, you're like a dead body. You're jutha hamida. You don't move. So you would say al-juthath al-mayyita. Al-mayyita comes from maut, dead, and mayyita is an adjective, dead bodies. لذا استلقى. So what he did is that he lay down. So he lay down, لذا, he lay down, استلقى, أرضا, down, on the earth, like on the ground. So ard is the earth, but you would also use it to say ground. So he laid down وكتم أنفاسه. وكتم أنفاسه, and he held his breath. So here's the story. This is really interesting. So I will just try to read it in Arabic, then give you the entire translation in English, and then I will mark the phrases I'd like you to remember, which are quite common when you use them in your own examples. So here, كان راجو بارعا في تسلق الأشجار، فسارع على الفور إلى أقرب شجرة إليه، وتسلقها غير مبال بصديقه الذي لم يحسن التسلق إطلاقا. إطلاقا, at all, إطلاقا. ففكر قليلا, he thought for a little bit, like a quick thinking. وتذكر حينها, and he thought at that moment. حينها is time. أنه قد سمع, so you would say تذكر حينها, he thought then, at that time, or he remembered. أنه قد سمع, that he heard الحيوانات المفترسة, he heard that predators لا تحب الجثث الميتة, does not like dead bodies. So he laid down. لذا استلقى, here is a verb. استلقى يستلقي. And this is an irregular verb. استلقى أرضا, meaning he laid down. وكتم أنفاسه. And he held his breath. I cannot imagine that situation. But okay. So we have a lot of different words here. And I'm going to go to the last paragraph so we can understand the moral of the story. And I'm reading with you and I'm trying to comprehend as I go. Yalla. Last one. Don't go anywhere. Take your notes and wait for the story to be read entirely without any interruptions. Yalla. So the third paragraph. وصل إليه الدب الكبير. The big bear got to him. I think referring to Vijay, the one who thought of laying down. وراح يشمه, and started to smell him, like يشم. So the bear started to smell. يشمه ويدور حوله, and circling around him. Okay. So the bear started sniffing or smelling him. يشم, sniff. So when you say shamma is to smell. Shamma, smell, but you could also say it as sniffing. You sniff, yashum, to sniff. So he sniffed around him in circles. ويدور حوله لبعض الوقت. For some time. So he started for some time or for a while. لبعض الوقت. بعض is some and وقت time. So for a while. ثم, so I don't know for how long. He's really good at holding his breath. ثم تركه وذهب. Then he left him and walked away. ثم is then. تركه, and this is the verb taraka, to leave. تركه is he left him. وذهب. تركه وذهب. He left him and went. So as if you say like let it go. Then he let it go or let him go. فنزل رجل, the good climber. فنزل رجل من أعلى الشجرة. So رجل came down from the top of the tree. So أعلى, top of, الشجرة, tree. وسأل صديقه ساخرا, and asked his friend like sarcastically. So he was being sarcastic. ساخرا, jokingly or sarcastically. So Raja, when he came down from the tree, from the top of the tree, أعلى الشجرة, سأل صديقه, he asked his friend, ماذا قال لك الدب حينما كان يهمس في أذنك? What did the bear tell you when he was whispering in your ear? That's a good question. ماذا قال لك الدب حينما, when, كان يهمس, he was whispering, في أذنك, in your ear. So what did the bear say to you while he was whispering? Like حينما is like while, when he was whispering to you in your ear. يهمس في أذنك, في أذنك. So you could say يهمس لك. يهمس لك, like he's whispering to you. And يهمس في أذنك, whispering in your ear. I'm also curious. There you go. وأجابه فجاي. So Vijay answered him. أجابه. قال لي أن أبتعد عن الأصدقاء أمثالك ثم تركه ومضى في طريقه. That is a beautiful lesson. So Fijai responded, he said, the bear, like referring قال لي, the bear told me to stay away from friends like you and أبتعد عن, stay away from الأصدقاء أمثالك or أصدقاء أمثالك, from friends like you. Then Fijai تركه, he left him, then he left him and went on his way. ومضى في طريقه. ومضى في طريقه. Wow, that was quite a story. So the whole idea was around loyalty, which is الوفاء. And we could say الوفاء, loyalty, and then شخص وفي. I'll put it over here. Because we have a lot of words to remember. الوفاء, loyalty, and we say وفي, وفي, loyal, and of course we have صديق, and we learned بارع, skillful or talented, and we'll be writing a few vocab up down here, but I'm going to go over to the story and I'll try to read it one more time. Ignore the doodles, but listen carefully. I will actually give you a new sheet. Just let me know in the comment section if you'd like a copy of this story so I can put a link there for you in the upcoming story time. It is story time, fun story time. Okay, so I'll start reading the story from here. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. فيجاي وراجو كانا صديقين حميمين، وفي أحد الأيام ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة للتمتع بجمال الطبيعة، وفجأة رأيا دبا كبيرا يتقدم منهما، ففزعا وانتابهما الخوف الشديد. كان راجو بارعا في تسلق الأشجار، فسارع على الفور إلى أقرب شجرة إليه وتسلقها غير مبال بصديقه الذي لم يكن يحسن التسلق إطلاقا. أما فيجاي ففكر قليلا وتذكر حينها أنه قد سمع بأن الحيوانات المفترسة لا تحب الجثث الميتة، لذا استلقى أرضا وكتم أنفاسه. وصل إليه الدب الكبير وراح يشمه ويدور حوله لبعض الوقت، ثم تركه وذهب. فنزل راجو من أعلى الشجرة وسأل صديقه ساخرا: ماذا قال لك الدب حينما كان يهمس في أذنك؟ وأجابه فيجاي: قال لي أن أبتعد عن الأصدقاء أمثالك، ثم تركه ومضى في طريقه. That was quite a story. So if you're watching this, you can include in the comment section your vocab or phrases that you remember, but I will take a few from here and you can include your questions or maybe some words you didn't get the meaning, and we can just put them in the comments or in the chat. So here my favorite, I'll go paragraph by paragraph and I'll say كان صديقين حميمين. Okay. حميم, صديق حميم. I'll take this one. صديقين حميمين. صديقين حميمين. I'm going to write that one. صديقين حميمين. في نزهة إلى الغابة. ذهبا في نزهة إلى الغابة. نزهة إلى الغابة. A picnic in the forest or to the forest. They went on a picnic in the forest. Here you have إلى. للتمتع to enjoy. جمال الطبيعة. جمال الطبيعة. The beauty of nature. فجأة, I like this one. Suddenly, and فجأة comes from متفاجئ, surprise, like by surprise. فجأة, suddenly, رأيا دبا كبيرا يتقدم منهما. I like this one. يتقدم منهما, approaching them. ففزعا وانتابهما الخوف. فزعا is like the fear struck them, like فزعا. But انتابهما الخوف الشديد, they felt an intense fear, or an intense fear got to them. So here انتابهما الخوف الشديد. I'll keep this one in the color I want. That way I write it in my notes, and I hope you do the exact same thing and you come back to the video so you can remember your words. كان راجو بارعا. I like بارعا, skillful, talented. تسلق الأشجار, climbing trees. تسلق الأشجار. That's another phrase I'd like to keep. تسلق الأشجار, climbing trees. تسلق الأشجار. فسارع على الفور. He rushed immediately. على الفور, على الفور. إلى أقرب, towards the closest tree to him. وتسلقها, he climbed it. He climbed it. Okay. Here is the other one I like. غير مبال. Indifferent. He didn't care much about his friend. لم يكن يحسن. Here is a nice verb. يحسن. He wasn't good at. تسلق. التسلق, climbing. At all. إطلاقا. إطلاقا. Just remember إطلاقا over here. Wow, it's really rich. الجثث الميتة, dead bodies. We have a lot of fun words. الجثث الميتة, dead bodies. And we said جثة هامدة, referring to someone who is lifeless, like they don't move much. And I like استلقى, 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 استلقى. And you repeat over and over and over. استلقى, استلقى, استلقى. He laid down. وكتم أنفاسه. And sometimes you say, like, hold your breath. Don't do this. Hold your breath. كتم أنفاسه. And كتم يكتم. And also, like, you hold a secret, you keep a secret, you say كتم سرا. And if you took or attended live study sessions before, we talked about كتم سر أخيه. He kept the secret of his brother, if that rings a bell. Last paragraph. وصل إليه الدب الكبير وراح يشم. I like يشم, sniff and smell. يدور حوله, circles around him. تركه وذهب. He left him behind and went, or he let him and went on his way. نزل راجو. نزل من أعلى الشجرة. He got down from the top of the tree. ساخرا, sarcastically, like he asked sarcastically. ساخرا, ساخرا. And if it's a new word, you keep repeating ساخرا, ساخرا many times. And then you go. حينما كان يهمس, when he was whispering. في أذنه, في أذنه, or في أذنك, في أذنها. And here's the moral of the story. He told me stay away from friends, to stay away from friends like you. I'm not talking to you, شباب. قال لي to أن أبتعد عن الأصدقاء أمثالك, to stay away from friends like you. ثم تركه, then he left him behind and went on his way. ومضى في طريقه. And here is a really beautiful phrase. مضى في طريقه. So I will سأمضي في طريقي. I'll go my way right now. سأمضي في طريقي. And I hope you learned quite a good amount of vocab from this story. Even for beginners, they can take words from here. And I'm going literally word by word translation. and use your notes to write down the translation as well, like loyalty, loyal, friend, and take your time and replay the audio or the story. So I'll see you inshallah in the upcoming stories, and let me know in the comment section if you've enjoyed this one. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. الوفاء في وقت الضيق. السلام عليكم.